Ready? Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with HuddleGG, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Huddle. This week, we're going to be talking about how to attack cover 2 man defense. This is a question that we get all the time, and as always, if you guys have a question you'd like answered in a future video, wherever you're watching this, just make sure you leave that question in the comment section below, and we will do our very best to get to it. If you don't see it come up in a future video, you can always join our free Discord by going to HuddleGG/Discord, and you can ask us there as well. So again, really appreciate you being here. Let's dive into this week's video. And again, we're going to be talking about cover 2 man defense and how to attack it. And if we just look at the defense in general first, cover 2 man is going to be man coverage with everybody underneath with 2 deep safeties over the top. And what makes this coverage difficult to attack is the way that the man coverage players are going to play against the receivers. They're going to play what's called a trail technique, where they're going to essentially follow the receivers from right behind them, and they're going to mirror what they're doing. And that, coupled with the safeties over the top, really makes the throwing windows tight and makes it hard to attack this defense. And to me, this is the hardest man coverage to attack. We're going to show you 4 really nice ways here in today's video. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be verticals calls out of trips formations. Okay, so my favorite trips formation to do this out of are these trips tight end offset week or trips halfback week, where we have the running back to the same side as the trips, because a lot of times he's going to be on this route here where he's breaking to the outside. Now that's going to be our first read, but there's really an important route that we're looking for when we're looking for these vertical calls, and it's going to be that middle receiver. You want that middle receiver to be bending to the inside. As you can see there, he's going to be running back more towards the inside. He's not on a traditional streak. You can see obviously a traditional streak there. He's running right alongside the numbers the entire time. But if we reset that play, you see as that route gets towards its end, he's going to be bending towards the inside. That's going to really help us get open inside the safety. So again, our first read though every time is going to be the RB. So again, as he breaks to the outside, we're just going to throw this, and we're going to be able to get space and get ourselves an easy completion time and time again. We'll run that one more time just to show you. Again, this running back route is going to cook. And again, this is why I like the formations with the running back on the same side as the trips, because you get this route a lot of the times, and he is very, very good at attacking this coverage. Now, the next route we're going to look for is going to be that middle receiver if he beats his man. So whether they're playing off coverage a little bit like this, which you'll get automatically if they don't press, or if they press, we're just looking to see if he wins. Now, if he wins, we're going to look to throw that ball to the inside away from that safety, and you can see you have the potential to get an easy one-play touchdown because of the way that this route runs towards the middle of the field. Okay, so you can see here, he's going to get past his guy because, again, they're in a trail technique. So if they don't manually press this guy against this formation, he's going to start off 5 yards away from the receiver, and that gives us a free release every single time. And you can see we just throw this down and away from that safety. Now, if we do want to get this safety out of the picture for sure, you can always put your backside tight end on a corner route. Now, that'll help a little bit. But again, the same thing's going to apply. We're looking to throw that down and away from the safety. And you can see that once again, it's an easy big play down the field with the possibility of a one-play touchdown. Now, if you are in a formation that does not have the running back on the same side, we're going to show you what you can do there. So let's say we're in something like trips halfback week here, and we have a play called verticals where we're going to come out with the trips to the wide side of the field. But again, the running back now is opposite of the trips. Now, you can still run this with that running back route on that check and release because he does a pretty good job on that route, or you can simply put that running back on a Texas route. Okay, so that's still going to be our first read. Running backs on Texas routes do a really good job this year of winning to the inside, and you're going to be able to make that throw as well. So again, if you are in a formation where the running back is opposite of the trips, just put him on a Texas route, and your reads are still going to be running back first and then middle receiver on that deep seam down the middle. The next way that we want to attack cover 2 man defense is going to be to run the football. I know it's not a flashy answer. I know it's not, oh, we can beat it over the top for a one-play touchdown, but this is going to be the most consistent way for you to move the ball against this defense. Because again, if we look at the defense, they have 2 deep safeties. Neither of those safeties are in the run fit, so they're not going to play the run aggressively. And then everybody else is manned up, so they're going to focus on their receiver first and then the run second, which gives us another advantage. And then if we look, a lot of cover 2 man defenses that people run are going to have 3 down linemen, which gives us another advantage because most of the time they're spread out here like in a dollar look. So what we want to do is just attack up the middle with runs. My favorite runs to do are just simply inside zone and read option. I like read option more personally because we do get an extra blocker for our running back because that backside player is going to go unblocked. What you'll see here is we're just going to say hike and we're just going to run this football, right? And it's going to be the easiest yardage you can possibly get against this defense. You just want to continually run up the middle and attack where this defense is weak. And you can see that you have the potential for some huge gains here down the field. Again, there's nobody there once you get past the defensive line until you get about 7-8 yards down the field because our guards are uncovered most of the time. So you can see that they're going to get up to the second level and we're just going to be able to read the blocks. And you can see that at this point, again, the safeties are now just coming down to make a tackle on us because, like I said, those safeties in the deep halves are not going to play aggressively down towards the run, and it just gives us a ton of space in the middle of the field to attack this defense. So one more time here, you can see we're just going to run the ball, and as you can see, time and time again, we have so much room to run. Again, it's not a flashy answer, but it's one of the best answers when your opponent goes to cover 2-man. Run the ball up the middle. Again, I like read options the most, but inside zones can work as well, and even on an inside zone, if you want, you can always untarget the backside defender to make it more like a read option when it comes to the blocking. Obviously, you just want to be able to keep it with your quarterback in those situations. One of the best concepts to attack cover 2-man in all of Madden is going to be mesh, and we're really looking for a specific type of mesh call. Obviously, you could create mesh out of pretty much any formation in the game by just putting a drag to each side of the field and having them cross over the middle of the field. But if you look at the play right here, mesh spot on the bottom left, you see how those drag routes are actually option route drags? Those are the ones we want to look for because those are unable to be pressed cleanly when people are trying to run this defense. So one formation I love to run this out of is going to be gun trips halfback weak because it actually has this solo side receiver in a condensed split, as you can see there. So when they press, this player over here to the left, number 10, already has inside leverage on that player, right? So he's going to absolutely torch that guy. And then we also have this player running the drag, the option route drag from the A receiver spot. And this is just going to be something that we can run time and time again against this defense. And they're going to have to pick between one of the drags with their user, and that's going to allow us to throw the other. So what you're going to see here is we're going to say hike, and this X is going to come open right away every time in this formation because, again, he has that inside leverage. So if we look at the replay here real quick, you're going to see, again, this inside leverage allows him to not get pressed at all, not even get bumped, and he's just going to run quickly across. You're going to see that he's going to be open, but you can see here that this player is not able to get cleanly pressed. Now, he'll get bumped, but he's going to now win. And again, if the user chases this first route, we're now going to have this second route here able to throw the ball to. Okay, so if we run this again, like I said, a lot of times people are going to press that defense to try to get that guy on the left in a better position defensively, but still he's out leveraged. And still you can see that if we don't like the first one, we can throw it to the second one, and you're just going to have a ton of space after you catch this ball. Again, because the man guarding these drags is going to be in a trail technique, they're going to be behind our receivers, and we're going to be able to, again, throw it to either of these guys for the easy completion here. Like I said, first one here could have been our read, but let's say the user chases that. We now have this second read. So again, look through your playbooks, look for mesh calls that have these option route drags, because these are the drags that you want to look for. They're a little bit different. Like I said, they're unable to be pressed cleanly, and it just allows you a free release, and it gives you a ton of space to throw the ball and attack this defense for what looks like a small throw underneath, but you're going to have a lot of opportunity for yards after the catch. The last concept we're going to talk about to attack cover 2-man defense is actually going to be halfback slip screen. Now, these are plays that not a lot of people call, but they do a phenomenal job against cover 2-man defense, because if we look at the defense here, you're going to see that there's one player assigned to the running back, but as long as our offensive line blocks that one player, there's nobody else there who can make a play, and we're going to have easy yards down the field with the potential for some really big yards down the field. So what you're going to see is when we say hike, we just want to allow the pass rush to come in as if they're going to be able to get a sack on the quarterback, and then we're going to dump it off at the last moment. What you're going to see is we're going to say hike. We're just going to allow that pass rush to come in. We're going to throw that ball, and you can see we now have blockers out in front, and we have the potential for huge yards there. We got about 30 yards before we were even touched by a defender. If we run it one more time, you're going to see, again, allow those players to come in, throw that ball, follow your blocks, and we have big yards down the field, and it's very, very easy. Okay, if we look at the replay here real quick, you're going to see all the space we have. I said you want to be a little bit delayed with this to allow the pass rush to come in to get closer to your quarterback. And when we throw this, look at this. We have 1, 2, 3 blockers pulling out here to pick up the one player, and then the next closest person is about 15 yards away. And as long as we follow our blocks appropriately, you're going to see that we can pick up easy yardage. One more time, just to show you the consistency, we're going to say hike. We're going to allow those guys to come in. We're going to throw that ball, and now we're going to just use this, follow our blockers, and get some easy yards down the field. This is something that you can run from any formation really as well. It doesn't have to be from this particular formation. So if you have a halfback slip screen in your playbook, just look to run this against cover 2 man defenses and see how easy the yards are going to pile up for you. And if you guys are looking to get even better at Madden, make sure to join our free Discord by going to HuddleGG/Discord. Have a great day.